investigation.
Numerous audible alarms were recorded on the ship's bridge audio.
Deadly stabbing attack.
This is a pretty painstaking event.
Ukraine's president on Putin.
Can you win while he's still alive or in power? Yes.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan. With the CBS World News Roundup, 2 bodies have been recovered near the bridge collapse scene in Baltimore. More of the heavy, twisted metal and concrete may have to be removed before others can be reached. CBS's Chris Van Cleve reports the NTSB chief, Jennifer Homendy, says investigators boarded the cargo ship that hit the bridge and interviewed the crew.
It's just utter devastation.
Aboard the cargo ship Dolly as investigators begin gathering evidence among the mangled mess blocking the Patapsco River after the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed. An NTSB review of the ship's voice data recorder shows the Dolly left port at 1:07 Tuesday morning. Less than 20 minutes later, the first sign of trouble. The vessel appears to lose power. About a minute and a half later, with alarms sounding, the onboard pilot called for help, asking nearby tugboats to respond. Less than a minute later, the Dolly made that critical life-saving mayday call.
Hold on traffic on the Key Bridge. There's a ship approaching. It just lost their steering.
They had less than 2 minutes to act before the collision. The NTSB says the Dolly held 56 cargo containers of hazardous material. That's more than 760 tons. Some of those containers were sheared open, leaving a sheen on the water.
CBS's Nicole Skanga has more on the men who were killed when the Key Bridge came crashing down.
Divers recovered 2 victims of this tragedy trapped within the vehicle.
Maryland State Police identified 35-year-old Alejandro Hernandez Fuentes, originally from Mexico, and 26-year-old Dorlean Castillo Cabrera from Guatemala. Before the collapse, police officers can be heard on scanner traffic discussing the possibility of construction workers on the bridge.
There's a crew out there. We're going to notify whoever the foreman is, see if we can get them off the bridge temporarily.
After reviewing sonar scans, officials firmly believe the 4 remaining missing are likely trapped inside vehicles encased in rubble underwater. Among the missing, Miguel Luna, the father of 3, came to the U.S. 19 years ago from El Salvador in search of a better life. Minority Asir Suazo Sandoval was days away from celebrating his 35th birthday. He now leaves behind a teenage son and a 5-year-old daughter. Father Aku Walker has been mourning with the family.
They were out there working, sacrificing for their families, and unfortunately, they may have been the ultimate sacrifice.
Now to Rockford, Illinois, where 4 people were killed in a stabbing spree at several locations. The motive is not clear. CBS's Jennifer Kuiper reports a 22-year-old man is now in custody.
Winnebago County Sheriff Gary Caruana says his deputies arrested the suspect after they were called to a reported home invasion.
The young lady ran from him. She got some stab wounds in their hands and her face. One of the Good Samaritans stopped to help her out. He did get some stab wounds. He's fine.
At least 5 other people were wounded in the attack. Overseas, correspondent Charlie D'Agata takes us close to the front lines in Ukraine, where he spoke to President Zelensky about the state of the war with Russia.
There's no indication that President Putin will ever give up. Can he win while he's still alive or in power? Yes, because when he will lose our territory, even small villages, village by village, he will lose support in Russia. And for us, it's enough.
Former Connecticut Senator and 2000 Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Joe Lieberman has died.
And it will forever remain one of my deepest honors that thanks to Vice President Gore, I was given the opportunity to be the first Jewish American nominated by a major political party for national office.
Lieberman was 82. He had complications from a fall. Political scientist Larry Sabato.
He was truly bipartisan. He was fundamentally a Democrat, but in the latter half of his career, he was more with the Republicans than with the Democrats, at least on some matters.
In 2008, Lieberman endorsed Republican John McCain's White House run and was even discussed as a possible running mate. He served 24 years in the U.S. Senate. 4 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love,